I'm not like my dad. I'm smarter than him. Better than him.
What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm Monet and we're locked in. This is the recap for Power Book 2 Ghost, episode 7. Another great episode. We got action right off the top. And of course, we know that Tariq, he's trying to fight for the love of his life, Lauren, so they can go off, ride into the sunset and live the life that they always dreamt of. Well, before we jump into this and we break down episode 7, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions, recaps like this, tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern for the live after show discussion where we break down each individual character. But until then, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you make sure you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button again, and hey, follow me on Instagram right here. But let's go ahead and jump into this. This is the recap of episode 7. And man, let me tell you, Tariq, you got a long path ahead of you, brother, but we here with you and we're gonna make it. We jump right into the action. The Russians pull up on the Jamaica Ave boys. They get to dumping. 1 body, 2 body, 3. Looks about 5 to 6 bodies had dropped. And then one of the Russians come over and they send a text message to Kane because one of the Jamaicans, he sent a message. The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. But he texts back to Kane, you efforts killed Pavel. You will pay. The Russians, they winning right now. Back at the crib, Monet and Gordo, they're both trying to lay low so Drew and the family doesn't find out what's going on with Lorenzo. Now Monet is coming up with a plan, telling Gordo, all right, look, the Russian thing, you shouldn't have told Drew that. We need to make sure that everybody's good. Now Gordo was saying, listen, Monet, you're thinking that I'm more of a threat to Drew than anybody else, but I'm not. And Monet is like, look, just make sure that you keep quiet on all of this and leave Drew alone. Don't hurt him. But Gordo has the upper hand and he says, listen, I'm going to keep messing with Gordo and you can't do nothing about it or I'm going to tell the family. So now Monet, her mind is racing. How can she get rid of Gordo? Tariq is talking to Lauren because she's alive, but she's dead. But he's the only one that knows that she's really alive. And they've been talking back and forth. But at this point, she still doesn't believe Tariq had anything to do with trying to save her, and maybe what Sax said is real and Tariq was actually trying to kill me and set me up. Now Tariq is trying to say, listen, just give me 5 minutes. Trust me. You can trust me. I want us to get our lives back. So Tariq is already thinking about him and Lauren getting back together and leaving New York City, taking everything he got to go see his family. But Lauren, she's scared. She's been at Jenny's house. Her stomach is rumbling. She doesn't know who to believe. Over at the warehouse, all cap no frap is down for the moment, but Monet has inserted herself back into the game and she's asking Kane and everybody, what are we doing next? How are we going to maneuver through these streets? And Kane says, you're the boss. You need to tell us to do something. Now, they pulled all the work off the streets from the Jamaica Ave, so the Russians can't get them, and Monet is saying all the work is going to go to Wall Street and to Stansfield to make up for all the work in the street. Now she ends up kicking everybody out and she calls Brayden a N-word, and he's officially a N-word. But she starts talking to Tariq. She's saying, you're my thinker. Think of a plan. Now Tariq's plan is to see if the Castillos know when the Russians have a drop, tell Tate about the Russians drop, have Tate tell his NYPD friends to go make a drug bust, get the Russians off the streets, and we can get back out there. And Monet says, now that's the thinking I want to see. You finally stopped acting like a little pussy. Sax and Davis are going to prep Theo to try to get him out of prison. Now he needs to go in here so when he meets the parole board, we can make it up out of here safely and on the first time. Now Theo's in here and he's answering all the questions wrong. And the reason he's doing that is because remember, he took the charge for his brother Davis so Davis could become somebody. Now Davis, he wants his brother out, but Theo, he's not going along with anything. He's just answering wildly and Sax is like, come on man, I'm trying to get you through this. But Theo doesn't pay no attention to it. Now Davis does keep asking Sax, do you know anything about the Lauren Baldwin murder or the death? And Sax said there's no case. He doesn't know anything. He's withholding information from Davis that he got from Jenny. Plus he knows that Lauren is alive because he actually spoke to Lauren. Drew goes with Gordo to meet up with the brothers because everyone is pulling all the work off the streets. We seen what Monet and the Jamaica Ave did. Now we seen the 4Gs do the same thing. Now Drew, he's supposed to be trying to find out some information. He wants to know when is the next Russian drop so they can get this information to Tate. Now the Castillo brothers, they not trusting Drew. But Gordo actually steps up for him and says, nah, we family. This is what Frank would have wanted. Our poppy and their poppy together, tag team, we family. So Drew, he has infiltrated the Castillo brothers and he got the information on the next drop. On the other side of town at Monet's, she's invited Kai over. Now, if you remember Kai, he worked up under Lorenzo. Lorenzo's an OG to him. But he's been trying to get at Monet ever since Lorenzo died, dropped off 10 bands, and now he's over here having wine and cheese. Now, you can tell that Monet ain't really feeling him. It looks like she's leading him on, and Drew ends up showing up. Now, Drew is saying, Kai, you told me to go handle my dad's business, get revenge, but when we ask for your help, you don't have enough people. So they're going at it with each other. Plus, Drew feels like Kai disrespected him. Now, Kai ends up leaving, and Monet says, I'm gonna see you later. She also tells Drew, hey, I need you to continue to talk to Gordo and stay in his ear and hear if anything is going on in these streets, because we need to have a one-up on him. Over at the candy shop, we got open mic night. Brusandra was in here rapping. Then Salim gets up here and he starts off with a little poem. Now this poem, it's talking about all his faults and how he wants to do better and how he met his queen and his queen to be. And Diana, I would like that to be you. He got a rose up here. Everybody's looking like, okay. Now Diana, she knows damn well she's not feeling Salim no more because everything that he says is either crossing the boundary of, hey, that's kind of disrespectful, or it's just bad timing. So Diana storms off and they actually go in the back and they go at it with each other. And he's saying, after everything I did for you, well, he fires her from the shop and she says, oh, okay, it's gonna be like that. She's realizing that Salim ain't who he really is. Tariq goes over to talk to Effie because if you remember when they were in Italy, Effie took a picture of Noma and her child in Francisco. Now Tariq wants this picture so they can kind of leverage it against Noma to potentially get out the game. Now Effie is saying, I'll give you the picture if and only if you put me back in the game. But Tariq doesn't want to do that because at this point, he doesn't feel like he can trust her anymore, which he's right. Now she's saying, I'm not going to give you this picture because you might just cut me out the game and it's just not going to work. So Tariq leaves because he can't get that picture right now. He's going to have to find another way. While Brayden was downstairs working on Crash Coin because it's going in and out, the servers are down, a gentleman is leaving with 2 bags full of paper. Brayden sees it and the door is open. And then there's a fake back door on a shelf. Brayden goes in there and goes up the stairs and it's kind of looking eerily familiar to Bernie Madoff. A lot of shredded paper, and over in the table in the back, several ledgers. Documentation of money coming in, money going out. The information that Tariq had where he gave to Tate, it actually came out legit this time. Now, Tate, he used some of his resources, told the people in the NYPD that he used to work with, hey, there's a Russian crate coming in, go ahead and stop it. Now Tate, he's on the news, he's trying to get his numbers in the polls to rise so he can go ahead and shine once again. Now the Russians, they're upset because they just got the drop and someone had the drop on them. They all got locked up and everything seized. The Justice League, this was a big day for them. They're trying to figure out how Rashad Tate got that information because no one in the NYPD would have gave him this. And plus, the drugs that were in the Russian crates, Jamaica Aves, and the drugs that were on the roof, thanks to Diana Tejada, they all are the same grade of drugs. So now they're trying to connect. How is the Jamaica Ave, Tejada, and the Russians all connected? And who turned in the Russians? So they put 2 and 2 together and said, Tate got the information from Tariq. And if they're not the ones selling on campus, Diana Tejada was, that means Brayden and Tariq St. Patrick gotta be selling on Wall Street. So the Justice League, they're putting 2 and 2 together and they're coming up with 4. Effie was on the roof and she realized that there's cameras up there. So instead of touching anything, she turns around, texts Kane, and they meet up. When they meet up, Kane can only get her 1 brick because all the bricks are being put back into Stansfield and also on the Wall Street. Meaning all I got is this 1 brick on the side. Now Effie, she's like, come on, I gotta pay tuition. Now Kane gives her some money and says, I'll pay for it, don't worry about it. But she says, no, I'm not gonna take your money. I'm not gonna be your charity case. And he's saying, don't worry about it, I got you. But we know that Kane, he's been trying to get at her for a minute and he's thinking giving her work and money is his way in. Tariq is still begging Lauren to at least listen to him. Just give him a chance, 5 minutes. He's got proof that he wants to tell her, I didn't have anything to do with it. Effie did all of that. Now, while he's outside texting, Junior, he's over here undercover in the trash bags outside of Weston Holdings. And what does he find? An all cap, no frap cup. And in the bottom, he finds the bag. Now, this connection is going to be bad for Tariq St. Patrick. And right now, he's just trying to get in touch with Lauren. He's not even worrying about what's going on in the world. Saxe is still holding it down for Davis at the moment, trying to get Theo out of prison. Now, he's telling Davis, listen, I talked to somebody, and there's somebody on the parole board that's a little crooked, and it'll take a little bit of money to influence him. Now, Davis is saying, all right, cool, I'll get you the money for it. Now, I did hear Saxe say, I can't do this until you give me the go ahead. So I don't know if he was recording or he just building information to say that no, the parole man, so he can go ahead and get Theo off this case ASAP, and then Davis can get off of Saxe back. Saxe, he's trying to convert over and work on the RICO with Jenny Sullivan. Diana got fired from the candy shop, but that ain't stop her. Salim said he should call the police. She said, nah, we're not calling the police in here. We both got secrets. Well, I found out that your real name ain't Salim. It's Trevor Nelson. Trevor Nelson from Silver Springs, Maryland. He ride horses. He was adopted. He doesn't have a single mother. His family had money. His adopted family has money. He's been out here faking it the whole time, and Diana calls him out and tells him, listen, you're gonna go ahead and give me and everyone else more hours, and you're not gonna say nothing about my drugs, or I'm gonna tell everybody that you ain't really Salim. You some dude named Trevor. So Trevor, he's like, damn, he really lost in this situation. Monet has proven herself time and time again. She's one of the most ruthless. I made a joke earlier this week. Kai was getting set up and I didn't think it was gonna work out, but he believed it was. He invited Monet over because she promised to see him again. And when they got here, they got to talking, but guess what? People got to shooting outside. Kai turns and he looks at Monet. He's like, damn, she done set me up. They go at it. Monet's hitting him. Pop, pop. She kick him in the face. Bink. He falls down. He get back up. He grab her. He throw her on the ground. He's starting to choke her out. She's pushing his face away. And then all you hear is one single shot. Pow. Kane then laid Kai out. Now Monet is saying go outside and help Drew. And what she does is she takes her phone and she texts Gordo. I think they know the Russians didn't do Lorenzo. We need to talk. She texts that to Gordo, puts it in Kai's pocket, sees the messages, tells the kids, man, Kai must have been with somebody. Go get him. Monet is ruthless. And right after that, they take Kai's head over to the Russian, give it to him, and say, hey, we need a truce. He said, why would you kill an ally? He killed Lorenzo. He was working with somebody else, so we had to take care of him. Monet plans things out. She executes. Her sons, they just follow. But she did a good job with this one. The RICO continues to get stronger and stronger and stronger because they also have a photo of Effie Morales on the roof. The drugs from Weston Holdings match all the other drugs. Jamaica Ave, the Russians, Stansfield because of Diana. The RICO, the dots are being connected. In the Justice League, they look like they finally got the information that they actually needed because they also found out that Lauren is alive and healthy and willing to testify. Gordo and Drew, they still sticking together. Well, when they get back to the crib, Gordo ends up taking a shower. Drew, he's just sitting there, and then he remembers what his mama told him. You need to get whoever was texting Kai. Drew texts, says, we need to meet up. Where you at? Gordo's phone rings. Drew looks at it and he realizes that the phone that Kai had was texting Gordo. Goes in the bathroom, shoots Gordo, finishes him, knocked him off in the bathroom. Pause. Well, it appears Brayden is actually smarter than we thought. After going over the books, he brought him to Kiki. Kiki, this seems like a Ponzi scheme. Kiki's looking over the book. She said, let me check it out tomorrow because she's trying to keep it on the L. Oh, W, the low. But he says, no, this is my family's business. They go up and talk to Lucas. And Lucas is saying, oh, Brayden, you figured it out. Thought you would have figured it out faster. And Brayden wants to know, why are you doing this? Because Weston Holdings was going under. Lucas has been saving them, and Kiki is actually looking at the books. So only a select few of people know what's really going on. And Brayden is now one, but Brayden can't say anything because Lucas knows about all cap, no frap, plus the cryptocurrency. So the Weston Holdings, is looking bad for him. Tariq goes up to the DEA building because he's trying to get in touch with Lauren before they move her because they're about to start questioning her. She goes to the bathroom. Tariq, he spent a couple $1,000s to get a guy's badge, shirt, and hat so he can get in here. Now he plays a message to Lauren. Now it's not a message, but it's a recording of Effie admitting that Tariq was too soft to kill Lauren, so she did it. Now Lauren is hearing this and she's like, Tariq, you're right. You didn't have anything to do with it. Now Tariq is saying, you need to tell me anything you know. She said, oh, they're building a RICO on you. He said, a RICO? Why didn't Sax know about this? She said Sax did know about this. He was the one that was telling me. Now Tariq's finding out who knows about what's going on the inside. It's been Sax. Lauren pulled the reverse card and it's Sax. Instead of him setting them up, Lauren set him up. So now Tariq knows and he needs to tell Davis. It's one thing about the Tejadas, and then it's another thing about that Tejada family table. They in there, they kicking it, having their first dinner that they had in a while, joking around, and all of a sudden, the feds kicking in the back door. The feds kicking in the front door. Blanca and Jenny show up with a warrant for Diana Tejada's arrest for the possession of illegal narcotics because of the picture on the roof, and the RICO is about to begin. All right, there you go. Episode 7 to recap. Let me know what you think about Effie. How is she going to make it out here knowing that everyone is about to turn on her? And is Diana going to hold it down if she goes to jail? Because we know about the Tejadas, and when they go inside that jail cell, that interrogation room, they get to talking a little bit. But let me know what you think. Make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the live after show discussion. We're going to break down each person. We're going to break down each character thoroughly, and you know how it is. Have a good time, man. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.